Hey guys, it's Rush. Today we're going to be doing some live gameplay on the map RUINBERG. Now, as always, these are my absolutely favorite type of videos to make, simply because I have no clue how this battle is going to turn out, and a lot of people have trouble with RUINBERG, so it works out. So let's get started. RUINBERG's one of those awful maps that everyone has trouble with, simply because of the way that it's very, very small and compact, and then there's a lot of corridors that you have to go through if you actually want to be successful. So what you want to do in a medium tank, especially when you're top tier, is you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to be so aggressive that you get yourself killed. What you'll find on a map like RUINBERG is that it's a very fine line, because if you drive around a corner and if you go one corner too far, you might find yourself fighting against 5 tanks. So that's kind of like the trouble with this map. Now, the way I like to open up on this map is a relatively safe play, because what happens is you want to use your medium tank's speed to get into a position to shoot at people as they drive into positions, because medium tanks are going to be faster than the enemy heavies or whatever, and so you can drive into a position first and then take shots at them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to this position. Now, there isn't a heavy who's opposing me. There's a batchet right here. And I'm playing with an autoloader right here. That's probably not the smartest thing I've ever done. So I put a shot into him. 2 people returned fire. That's simply because the autoloader was looking at, like, spawning me. There's no gap to shoot at through these buildings anymore. How about here? No, that's not going to work. Okay, so that changes things. I won't be able to poke on this batchet when I know they've got a Leopard PTA and a... Well, who cares about the batchet, to be honest? I'm not going to be able to poke on this guy until he dies, because there's people who are supporting him. And by now, because we're a minute into the game, there's probably multiple tanks who are sitting back here ready to shoot at anyone who gets lit where I am. So I'm comfortable poking on it if there's no one to spot me. But if there is, I'm not going to be playing very aggressively, because there's just... It's like sniping tier 9 mediums right there. So this is about as aggressive as I'll go. I noticed this PTA is driving away. I will get spotted after I shoot, so that's just... I didn't get spotted. That's weird. Anyway, I was pulling back to get safe. That one hits a wall because I'm bad at aiming, and hopefully we can hit our next couple shots right here. I'd like to push in. The problem is, like I said, it's like if you push into this type of situation, they've got a PTA here, a 4202 here. They probably have a TD here. I would be pushing inevitably into a crossfire. So this guy's dead. I probably would have had shots on him. I think I'm going to push in now simply because that AMX is dead. So I get spotted. That kind of implies that there's someone like here, I would guess. Yeah, there you go. There's a Bulldog sniping in his tier 9, tier 8 light. Put a shot into him, and now we're just going to push into this 4202. I would, at this point, assume there's no TDs where that Bulldog was, because they would have shot me already. So I can put a shot into this 4202. This PTA is being a bitch. I want to shoot this T69 because he's an autoloader and sitting behind me. Get the kill so he doesn't clip me out, and now we're going to deal with this 422, who's probably going to get shot by one of my teammates, and that will save me some HP right there, so perfect. Alright, so now we're at a point in time where I've played kind of badly, but I have managed to get 1700 damage. I threw away a lot of my HP there. I did manage to win the field, so we have made that happen. Now the problem is that they've actually won the city, so what's going to happen in the near future is our ST1 is going to die, our M46 Patton is going to die, and then the score is going to be really, really close, and they've got a lot of, well, they've got a full HP Yag Tiger, they've got a half HP E4, those are all threatening tanks. This is like a full HP 705, it looks like. It's not full HP, but it is a 705. So all this stuff is going to be pushing into our base, and the question becomes, how do you receive that? Because obviously if they push into your base, they can start flanking you, they'll get on cap and all that shit. So what I like to do is I like to come to this position, and then I'll run away depending on how much support I have. So right here I've got very little support. Our tier 10 268 version 4 is sniping down the mid, which is like fair enough, but I personally don't have support right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay here for as long as I can, shoot at people for as long as I can, and then once I feel like I might possibly die, I'm just going to fall back and make sure that doesn't happen, because obviously if I die, I can't help us win the game anymore. So that's a 7-0 whatever. I'm going to put a shot into his track right there. I managed to get the track and do damage to him. He repairs that. He's now 1 shot, so hopefully this one goes in. There we go. That one went through a car, and I was just sort of hoping that it wasn't a solid wall that was blocking my shot right here. There's a 140 right here. I managed to track him as well. This is going to be really useful because we're getting rid of the strongest vehicles on the enemy team. I put a shot into him. He's looking at me, so he might try to put a blind shot into me. Good, and we get the kill. Now this is a situation where we're up to 4 kills, we're at 3400 damage, and they've got 2 TDs in front of me, and these TDs are going to be distracted by this 268 version 4. So what I want to do is I want to push in, but I don't want to commit, because I think that 268 version 4 is probably going to die. So I want to be as aggressive as I possibly can, but it's like the 268's dead, so maybe I'll only get 1 shot on this guy as he drives into the open, and now it's like we're not going to be fighting an E4 from the front, because he can potentially high roll me right here. So There we go. So the e4 manages to kill the m46. That brings the scores back in their favor. The game is a tie. And this is where you'd want to take a look at where your team is in relationship to the enemy team. So currently, we've got a standard B, which is a tier 9 tank, a T-2065, and a Scorpion who are sitting in the mid. Meanwhile, I'm trying to defend the base against an E4 and IS-3 and not a Yag Tiger anymore. So I can make this work. I can defend against the E4, but our teammates are slowly dying, and so what's going to happen is I need to save my HP if I want any chance at winning this. So the STRV is actually spotting for me, which is perfect. I don't know why he's shooting. He's acting as a really good scout right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up. I don't really want to give this guy a shot on me if I get spotted. 450 meters, he probably won't spot me. So I can just put heat into this guy's lower plate if I get the chance. That one gets the tracking shot. He's probably going to it doesn't look like he repaired it, actually. And I know he's tracked right here, so I'm going to put blind shots into him. I don't want to be shooting heat into his tracks because that's less likely to pen. I get the track, the 261 finishes him off, and now we're in a situation where we've got to deal with the GWE-100, the Yag Tiger, who I believe is very high on HP, and then that Leopard PTA as well, who I'm just going to assume is very high on HP. So the question is, what do you do from here? Well, I'm noticing that our Scorpion G is being suicidal, so I need to make sure he doesn't kill himself in vain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to flank the Yag Tiger, because what I expect to happen is I expect the Yag Tiger to notice the Scorpion G who's just rushing down the middle of the map, and that's going to distract the Yag Tiger, and that should create an opportunity for me to get some sort of damage. Now, the Scorpion hasn't spotted the Yag Tiger, so this is going to get interesting. Yeah, Jesus. What is the Scorpion doing, man? Okay, how do I deal with this? I think I can deal with this by popping up here and putting side shots into this guy, you see? So what's going to happen is the Scorpion's going to make the Yag Tiger look away, and these guys are all full HP, man, and we're not. God damn, maybe I won't be able to kill the Artie, but I might be able to spot this Yag Tiger right here, who's probably not expecting this. There we go. Put shots into the... I think I just shot the Yag Tiger. That's exactly what I think happened. I think the Yag Tiger ate my shell, and we just can't see him, so we're not seeing that. Yeah, I got spotted there. So I'm going to fall back because I got lit, so I don't want to get hit by the Yag Tiger and the PTA, because if that happens, I could very easily die. So I'm going to make sure I'm already safe, and I'm going to wait for other people to distract the Yag Tiger and the PTA so I can flank them if I get the opportunity to. So now the standard B's in front of this guy. He doesn't have a shot on me, so I'm going to drive a bit wide. This is kind of risky. Yeah, this guy's facing me. This is pretty risky. Maybe that one will go in. No, it doesn't. Okay. So if this guy falls back, I'll have shots in the PTA. There we go. So I put a shot into the PTA, and we're just going to make sure this gun keeps firing. I'm okay if the PTA shoots at me once, so if I can get the kill. The PTA dies. This is where I'd want to load heat for the Yag Tiger, and now we're just going to slowly move in and make sure this Yag Tiger can't carry the game out of his ass. So we put a shot into him. Looks like he just fired. I'm going to put one more. This one's heat. There we go. And now we go after Artie and hopefully get ourselves the top gun. Oh no. The Scorpion G is going to get the kill, isn't he? Oh no. Fuck. Alright, that wasn't such a bad game considering the map, eh? Alright, so that was 87,000 credits, 1,562 XP. I ended up getting a high caliber, 2 bonds for that one, a Mastery Badge 2nd class, and again, I still have no clue what these medals are right here. That was 7,400 win 8, 5,800 damage, got 5 kills. We came first on the team for damage. The Scorpion did a very, very good job. He was really aggressive against that Yag Tiger towards the end, which in my opinion was suicidal, but luckily, because if you're able to recognize, like, the reason you have to watch your teammates is because if they go to kill themselves and then get themselves killed and you don't take advantage of it, you're screwing over the team. So the Scorpion G was pushing in. I made sure I joined him with that, because if he was going to be killing himself to the Yag Tiger, I didn't want him to die uselessly. I wanted to make the most out of that situation. So that's kind of why you have to watch your teammates who might be being aggressive. In the end, we made 29,000 credits, not running any boosters or anything like that, but we are top tier in this situation, so there's not much need for gold. And we fired 27 shots, 22 of them hit, 21 of them penned, and that was our game. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Oh, one last thing. A lot of people have been asking for an updated advice to the Object 140 setup. Here's my current setup as it is, and I'll just give a brief explanation. It actually hasn't changed for years. I think that the way you should set up tanks as far as crew and equipment goes is very, very standard. So what you want to do is you want to put brothers in arms, like to answer the question of people who don't know what crew skills to use. You want to use brothers in arms all the way down for your first skill, because it's very useful to have brothers in arms on mediums. Then you want to have Sixth Sense, and then you want to focus on finishing off repairs. So I go Sixth Sense, because obviously it's mandatory in tier 10 tanks. Repairs, and then I do safe stowage on the loader. Now, some people will, like always, they'll bring up the question, what should you do, camo or repairs first? The reality is, in the current map lineup, the current map list in World of Tanks, you're not going to find many maps when you actually want to have more camo. Like, camo is useful only during the end game in my experience. At the beginning of the game, where 15 tanks are alive and everyone has 440 meters view range because they have commanders and that kind of thing, it's not worth it to have camo because people with 450 meters view range are going to spot you, given that maps aren't really 450 meters big in practice. A lot of fighting takes on takes place within 200 meters of your opponents. So camo should not be the priority. You want to run camo second because it's useful when you're carrying specifically against TDs who are camping. But that's basically the crew, like my crew advice, because a lot of people have been asking me for it and I simply haven't linked, like I don't have a quick video to link them. So yeah, what I would suggest is BIA all the way down, 6 cents, repairs, safe stowage, and then you want a view range skill simply because view range is really useful to have, and then you go camo, and then you finish off repairs on the loader, and then the next skill that I would put on the loader is camo, and then the next skill after what I've currently got, which is repairs, that I'm going to put on the commander, is actually going to be camo as well. So that's pretty simple. As far as these like snapshot and stuff, I think they're useless. Don't focus on them. They're a waste of time. Snapshot does like 3% bonus, and then smooth ride does like 2% or something, so it's a complete waste of your time. Don't waste your crew skills on snapshot. Here's my equipment. It hasn't changed for years, and I've given multiple explanations as to why. I just wanted to explain the crew for the people who've been asking. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.